Slacktail Squad, assemble.
And
You didn't need to speak. Why would you? Okay, why would you speak? Why would you do that? I'm the first one to speak. The audience wants to hear me first.
It is your world.
It is my
your
world.
world.
I'm the
It is your world.
Beaveman, and this is the Slaptail Squad. And if you're listening, you're a member of the Great Slaptail Nation, my nation, and a member of the Great Slaptail Nation Army. For I am the Beaveman, master of, I guess we decided that it is master of my universe.
Master, not master of the universe.
No,
but
I'm just master of my own universe. I guess that's okay. That's actually more realistic if I'm master of my universe. And I'm excited. Let me tell you why I'm excited, because I'm here with my good friend, the Ronz.
As usual.
And the Swan. And
I'm not going to say hello.
You just did.
No, I said I'm not going to say hello.
You just said it again.
No, I didn't. Shut up, Ron.
You said hello twice.
Anyway, this is why I'm excited,
Ron.
because if you remember, after the last show, we'd all discussed that we were going to go ahead and come up with a 2-minute stand-up, a tight 2-minute stand-up routine. And Ronz, I know you didn't let me down. You're going to go first. Go ahead. Okay, so Swan,
Since
what we're
your
going to do...
story was so good, you should go first. Definitely, you should go first. Ronz.
Anyway, as I was saying, so Swan, what we'll do is we'll give him... I'll do the intro for him. We'll do a little bit of applause, and then the Ronz will do his tight 2 minutes. And it's not
I
easy.
didn't get the notes on this.
It's not. We talked about it after the last podcast.
Where were you, Ronz? You were right there.
You were
said
right
you
there.
Got
We
it.
talked
you
about
said
it.
You didn't even have
Okay,
to prepare.
all right. If you say we did, then I have to believe you as master of the universe. Of your universe.
You're prepared?
You're
prepared
right.
Your
sure.
2-minute stand-up?
Your tight 2 minutes of stand-up.
Okay, we can try this.
Okay, ready? Okay, so what we'll do is I'll introduce him like it's a regular comedy club. Swan will do some applause, and then you come right in after the applause, acknowledge the applause, and do your tight 2 minutes, Ronz. Okay?
Okay.
All right,
okay, I got this.
And now, live, coming to you from the Slaptail Squad Comedy Room, here he is, the Ronz.
Thank you. Hey, I just flew in from Albuquerque, and boy, are my arms tired.
Boo! That's terrible. That's terrible.
No, Swan. Dealing with hecklers. This is not the performance of the B-Man in the bedroom.
Okay,
I'm sorry. We're just going to move on from there. So, you ever notice? No. Yeah, we were discussing all comedy is subjective, and I made a joke today, and that when someone pisses you off, why don't you ever just give them a dildo back in return and just tell them to fuck off? All right, really, honestly, no one likes morons, right? In the retail world,
Right, it's part of your stand-up routine.
No, I'm just spouting. I mean, sometimes you got to spout. So, and I used to say, I was a stripper for the blind, and boy, you want to know where those canes went. But everybody's
that was actually funny.
Swan, just laugh. You don't have to comment on everything he says. You're the audience.
Okay.
Just shut up.
Okay. I don't get comedy. We know this.
You're taking up his time.
Okay.
No, that's quite okay.
The audience doesn't talk to the comedians, so just be quiet.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. Come on.
No, they don't.
Oh, okay. Anyway, when I used to work retail or wherever, I always wanted to tell the person on the other end, when they would come in, they say, "Do you have this item or thing?" And I would tell them no, and they would get all upset. I'm like, "Oh, you know what? You're right. I do have it. I'm just hoarding it for my damn self. I don't care what you think. It's all mine." I'm sick and tired of that. People have lost their touch in humanity and compassion, and just overall, it's turned into a cesspool of stupidity, and I'm just done with it. All right. Now, in this day and age, we've got to be politically correct. You can't tell someone to fuck off that really needs it. But imagine how nice it would be if you could. Sure, you'd probably start a few fights, but it could be worth it too. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a couples therapist, but I think it'd lead to a lot better relationships if it happened, or a lot more divorces, depending on your point of view. That's about all I have right now.
Okay, that was
on that.
That was, and that's your 2 minutes. Oh wow, Ron, that was a great tight 2-minute stand-up routine. I heard 2 jokes, The rest was just you talking about your life in general that wasn't funny, or what you normally say. But that's okay. Way to go! Way to follow the assignment and come up with your tight 2 minutes of comedy.
If I go check, hey, whatever. It's still a work in progress.
Yeah, it was a work in progress, but for some reason the Swan decided she was going to talk to you while you're doing it, and that's not what you're
Sorry.
supposed to do, Swan. It was
You know what?
an audience. It
If
wasn't.
the
It wasn't.
Swan is my biggest fan, I'm okay with it.
Anyway, so I'm glad that you remembered what we talked about last week, and that you went ahead and accomplished that mission and wrote your shit out. That was good job, Ronz.
Well, I could have gone up my notes, but I do have notes on comedy, but I didn't want to fool around with the computer and log out and log back in.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, what is that? Is that a flag in the background I see?
It's a
quilt.
Are you talking about this?
Yeah, I'm not talking about the damn corkboard, which I know is a damn corkboard.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a quilt. Anyway, Swan, did you want to do your tight 2 minutes of comedy?
No, I did not. I'm not funny. And
I think you are.
Thanks, Ronz. Thanks. No, I'm not prepared. Did you want to do yours?
No, because we never said we were doing that.
But way to go, Ronz, for just jumping in.
Wait a minute. You held my feet to a fucking fire, and you're like, you're going to do this, but you guys are copping out.
I mean, how can you remember? How do you not remember not having that conversation?
I do apologize if we did or didn't.
We didn't.
I've been tired all week long.
We didn't have that conversation. We thought you'd be like, whoa, but I mean, we give you props for stepping up on it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I know that the Beaveman likes to do comedy. He likes to interject comedy routines in his everyday life. And I thought, maybe we did discuss it and I just didn't get it. And usually he texts me notes, right? I'm like, hey, don't forget, do not forget. And I'm like, I erased all my messages. I'm like, all right, I thought I went over them. However, in the interest of being fair and forgetful, maybe he's right.
I guess you remember that $60 you owe me because you didn't give me that.
So basically, I just proved that the Jedi mind trick works.
No, you just proved you're an asshole. That it's your universe. That's all you proved.
And that's the secret of the Jedi mind trick. It works on those whose minds are easily manipulated.
Oh yeah.
Neurons.
Isn't that what you were discussing today? That I was manic because of lack of sleep.
Well, I was hoping you would be, but then I guess you took a nap. So is that
you didn't want me to be a complete jerk.
Your guardian made you take a nap.
Yeah. However, I did say that today that I was at a place and someone did something, and the person behind the counter wasn't distraught, but you can see that they're obviously upset, but not too distraught.
That is the most. This is the most general. This is the most generalized description of something that occurred without being specific about anything. You probably could give us a little bit of detail because now nobody.
No, because it's very specific, and you could pinpoint what had happened. So a customer came through, and they tried to help out the customer, and they moved on. And I said, "Don't you ever just want to give them a dildo sometimes and just tell them to go fuck off, or tell them to go fuck themselves?" And they said, "You can't say that. You got to be quiet about that." I'm like, I can't say the word dildo. So you're at the
sex toy place?
No, I wasn't at a sex toys.
Then where would they have this random dildo from?
And where would you feel that you were comfortable enough to say to somebody dildo in a conversation?
The thing is, any other day,
he was comedy, at church. He was like,
it was at church. It was with a priest. But any other day, comedy, as we would talk about, is subjective in how it comes across. And I was trying to be funny, humorous, and seeing how this would land. And the two people that were listening were just taken aback by that word.
It was at a kid's preschool.
It was at a priest in a preschool. But the thing is, you can't say stuff like that out in public.
You finally learned this, Ronz?
No, well, we were...
Obviously not, because you just said it.
Yeah, but there was no one else around, but
the person you were talking to.
Yeah, however, in a conservative setting... Dildo? I said the word dildo, and you know they can't tell the customer to go fuck off. They're in a service industry, so they're
The line at McDonald's.
yeah, oh definitely yes.
I'm
No.
just perplexed that you said this to somebody out in the real world. And
This is before I got my nap in.
What?
This is before I got my nap in. I kind of let
Right, okay, but I think that if you're gonna do stuff like that, that you should at least film it and have some sort of a following on Instagram or something. I guess just how did you figure that was going to go over well? I can understand if you said to them, "Hey, do you ever just want to tell these people to go fuck themselves?" But not hand them a dildo and go fuck themselves. One, that makes the assumption that they've got a dildo handy. Well, I've just got this bag full of dildos sitting right here next to me. Sitting next to me.
Yeah, you're right.
And did you ever see this person in your life before? Like, or was this just a complete random stranger?
No, I've seen these people before.
And so would you say they're friends?
More of acquaintances.
And so
not friends.
Acquaintances, good enough acquaintances that you could say dildo. Go fuck
I could
themselves.
say dildo to anybody I'd like.
That's true.
It's up to you.
That's true.
It's up to you if you get upset with it, not me. And it was George Carlson, right? Who said, if you don't like the humor on the radio or wherever you hear it, turn the fucking radio off. Now I'm paraphrasing, of course. All right.
Are you talking about George Carlin?
So be it. George Carlin. I am so sorry I got that name wrong. He's one of my idols. But yeah, if you don't like the humor, move on.
Here's this dildo. Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. And we were talking about that last week. I mean, we've gotten so numb to the damn fact that you can't say anything that's politically incorrect. Eddie Murphy and Chris Rock, when in their younger years or their younger career acts, would just let words fly.
Here he goes.
There we go.
Do your list, Ronz.
And then
no, I'm not going to do my list.
These five other people. Okay, well, here's my Beaveman's observations for the week.
Please, I would love to hear your observations.
Feel free to give your own observations on my observations for this fun little jaunt down what the Beaveman thinks about in his day-to-day.
And here we go down.
And here we go. I can't feel my underwear.
You don't wear underwear.
I definitely wear underwear, Ronz. I don't like
We had
anything.
A whole conversation about underwear and how he doesn't like anything touching his waist. Remember, like belts or pants or underwear or whatever.
Or vaginas.
No, I don't care if somebody. I don't care if somebody puts a vagina on my waist. I can do that. That's fine.
You should.
That's fine with me. That's fine with me.
Selective vaginas only.
No, I don't like anything touching my waist, Ronz.
I like that. Yeah, selective vaginas only.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want any. Not just any vagina should find its way onto my waist.
No, that would be bad.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that out, Swan.
I just want to make sure we clarify.
It's true. No, I don't like anything.
That's her property.
I don't like anything touching my waist, Ronz. I don't. And so I've been searching. I've said this before. I've been searching forever for the perfect underwear.
I thought you'd found them with the.
That's not underwear, Ronz.
Okay, fair enough.
You think that I wander around outside paddleboarding, all these other places wearing just underwear, and you thought that my silkies, my sungas were underwear?
Yeah, I did. I thought
No, they're short.
No, I'm sorry. No, hold on. Let me clarify here something.
I've put pictures of me working out online. You think that's my underwear?
Yeah, but doesn't silkies? Don't they make underwear or undergarments?
No.
All right.
No.
So be it.
I don't know if there's a brand out there called Silkies. I don't know because I don't know of that brand. But maybe there is a brand out there called Silkies, and I wouldn't know what they make.
I thought that was just the nickname you had.
Okay, so did he just hear what he said? Because he said that I thought Silkies made underwear, meaning it was a brand, and then he said that he thought it was a nickname that I used. It is a nickname, so why did you think it's the name of a brand? You just said two different things.
Oh, whatever, move on. Let's get this over. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely fucking right.
The point.
Why should I? Point.
See, he doesn't like anything touching his waist. That's
except vaginas, yes.
Definitely not Bubba either. Bubba's not allowed to touch his waist.
Oh, let's see where this is going. Who's
I don't know.
Bubba?
That's it. Just, nobody.
So you
having
neither one
on.
of you are even talking about that I can't feel my underwear. You're both so fucking stupid that your mind takes you to completely different places.
Isn't that what a conversation does? Okay, you can't feel your
And a comedy
underwear.
routine does.
That was your takeaway from that was your takeaway from my one thing from this week. I can't feel my underwear, and that's your guys' takeaway. Vaginas on my hips.
No.
And Ronz thinks that I run around and take pictures of myself in my underwear and send them to my friends. Okay.
Yeah, doesn't everybody do that?
Well, that's that. Well, the point is this. I still have not found the perfect underwear. That's the point.
I still think that my favorite underwear brand should make underwear for you. Because my underwear feel great. Like they are just a thin, I don't even know what kind of material, and they don't have any top seam or seams around the legs or all the things that you don't like. But they don't make one like that for guys. I've not found one at all. And I did my best to find it. I thought I found you a good pair, and you just don't even like them.
Where do you buy your undergarments at?
I don't want to plug certain brand names.
Okay, I'm not saying brand names. I say
brand. I don't want to.
I know. I heard
she feels like Walmart gets enough money already, right?
Yeah. No, I did not buy my underwear at Walmart.
So
I'm going to tell you it's a secret.
Okay, so I got that reference.
No, you
has the Beaveman ever
Did you get it? Okay.
Yeah, has the Beaveman ever
try my underwear on?
I like you knew where I was going.
Well, it's clear that what you were going to say because
yes, it is. You're absolutely right. So be it.
Why would that even work? How? Think about that, Ronz. Where would your junk go?
Ronz,
there's a completely different anatomy set there, and my underwear would not fit his parts.
Ronz, are you my G-string?
I will be your G-string.
You.
Okay, well that's
he wants to be your G-string.
Oh, well, that's not.
Ron wants to be up your ass.
Yeah.
Whoa! I said
wants
G-string.
To be between your cheek. Where do you think it goes? Between the cheeks, Ronz. Between the cheeks. You want to be between his cheeks?
Yeah, I was going to.
I've been wearing it wrong. Then it just looks like a giant spider trying to escape. Okay, cool. Now I know how to wear them. I didn't realize there was a way to wear them correctly.
What I'm amazed about is I didn't expect him to say that, so he ruined the joke.
Yeah, you can't even continue on with that.
Can't even continue the joke because he just said, sure. He said, sure, I'll be your G-string. What? But
you don't get to touch his waist.
Oh,
He'd be right up his crack, but don't touch his waist.
That's fine. Anyway, still haven't found the perfect underwear. Still searching. So if anybody in the Slaptail Nation can create the perfect underwear, it can't have a waistband. That's what I don't understand. Stop advertising shit that looks like it doesn't have a waistband when it clearly does. That's what fucking bothers me.
But it has to stay up. No waistband, stay up. Make them more like my underwear.
Make it so that it's one continuous garment without a bunch of seams and no waistband. That would be awesome.
Okay. How would you make it without a bunch of seams?
Okay, that's not my job. That's not my job, Ronz. If I knew how to do that.
So be it.
Anyway.
I mean, my underwear only has one seam. The ones that I like, it only has one seam, and it's in the back that goes up your crack, for lack of a better words, and you don't feel it because the seam is where the string is anyway. So, but it is it's one big piece that has one seam in the back.
Okay,
no waistband. So good, comfy.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Great.
Okay,
carry on.
Happy for you.
Ronz, when you take your garbage out, I'm assuming it's in a bag.
Okay.
You take your garbage?
Do you put a garbage out in in a bag, or you just carry out a handful of garbage to your trash can?
Both.
So no, you put trash in the can usually, without it being in a bag?
No, I usually put it in a bag and then carry it out.
Okay,
thank you for answering that question. And it took you 5 minutes. In a roundabout way. So, does your bag have the built-in ties or like the zip? Like you cinch it down. Does it have that, or is it just an open bag?
I do believe we have a cinch. Yeah, the cinch ties where you pull it and it gets tighter.
Okay, great. Yeah, great. Now, if you already bag it, why tie it? I see people that tie it. The daughter ties it, and she insists that it must be tied. It's already in a bag. You're throwing it in a garbage can, which will be taken to a dump. Why do you need to tie it if it's already cinched down?
I tie it too.
Okay, then answer the question. Why, Ronz, do you tie it? Do you tie it?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't.
Well, Swan,
Unless
Uh-huh.
I know that I got to carry it a little bit further so it doesn't open up and spill out.
How could
I
it
try to
open if it's cinched closed and you're carrying
because
it?
sometimes
there's
you
this
put
thing
too
called
much
gravity,
in.
and there's this thing called gravity. Are you carrying it upside down?
It might be.
I might be. You don't know. You don't know me. I do it in Canada at summer camp. I might be.
You're like, if I'm south of the equator, I carry it upside down.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
I cinch it closed because what if you put it in the trash can and then it spills all over the
I didn't
place?
say
And
cinch it
then-
closed. I said tie it.
And I tie it. I cinch it closed
Why?
and I tie it. Because what happens if it goes in the garbage can and then other trash goes on top of it and it opens and then there's a bunch of nastiness
You
all
mean
over your
inside the
trash
garbage can
Yeah, but
that
why
stays
would you want your
outside that contains garbage?
Yeah, but you don't want like rotten, sludgy food at the bottom of your garbage can. Like, what if that bag dumped out and there was all this nasty, sludgy shit at the bottom of your trash can, and then it's festering and getting
So
bugs?
I'm going to back the Swan up because
flies.
sometimes I'm going to back you up on this one because sometimes when the garbage people come through with their trucks, they got that mechanical arm that lifts up, and there's a small chance that when they dump it, some garbage does fall out. So now you've got garbage all over the place. Now, if you tie it down and cinch it and tie it down, less chance of that spilling out when they dump it.
Yeah,
so I'm going to back you up on Swans.
Okay, yeah, I'm not going to do it. But thanks for answering the question. That was again Beaveman's observations of the week. Just wanted your opinion on it. Doesn't mean I'm going to start tying my garbage.
Doesn't mean you're wrong either.
No.
Just means the Swan was right.
No. It just means that it's my once again.
We have differing opinions, and that's okay.
Just once again, my observations of the week. Getting opinions.
Swan, don't turn on me when I've got your back, and
I'm not
I'm saying
turning.
you're right.
I'm just.
It's not even.
You're angry with me. Stop being angry.
It's not even.
It's
not even anything to have someone's back or not. It's again, you two fucking morons.
It's
just
how
my observations of the week.
Oh,
you guys fucking morons.
Yeah.
Do you want to know why I don't tie it?
Why? Why don't you tie it?
Yeah.
One, it's a wasted extra step because you've got a cinch on the top and it's going into a garbage can. It doesn't really fucking matter. Two, why make it harder for the rats? They already got a hard life. You have their little hands.
Chew through it.
With their little hands.
They can just
you know how
chew
hard
through
it is?
it. Their teeth are like razors.
You know how hard it is for their little hands to untie that knot to get in there?
Yeah.
It's not fair.
I thought you were going to talk about raccoons where they just gnaw the plastic open.
There's far more
they
rats.
Got little hands too. They have cute little hands. They're little raccoon paws. They like wash their food before they eat it. They're cute.
I agree.
Ronz, did you know that ABBA released an album?
I did.
Did you listen to it?
Were you an
I
ABBA
listened
fan
to.
back in the day?
I listened to one track. I saw the video that they released. I read an interview that they did, and that was about it. I'm not a big ABBA fan.
No,
I'm not a big fan.
How can you not be?
Are you a big fan of what I listen to?
No, if ABBA is my happy music. If I want to listen to something happy, I'll listen to ABBA.
If Weird Al's my happy music, and ERB is.
Okay, we're not yelling at you, Ronz. Jesus fucking Christ! All we're doing is asking a question, and we're talking about our own personal lives, and you're getting fucking pissy. We're not saying
he wants to give you a list of his favorites.
We're not saying you have to listen to ABBA. Fuck's sake! Jesus. Do you know what a conversation's like? You don't have to get all freaking adversarial.
Whoa, watch the
big words.
Yeah, don't. I'm scared. No, I'm not a big fan of ABBA.
Here's what's interesting. I don't like ABBA. I'm not a big fan, but I listened to their track and watched one of the videos.
Yeah.
So why?
It doesn't mean
But why? So you don't like them. You're not interested, but you watched them. I like them, and I didn't watch any video.
Well, just because they hadn't released an album in so long, I thought,
40
okay, I'll give them a listen.
years, like 40 fucking years.
Just because I'm not a fan of something doesn't mean I won't listen to it. Just to see, or I might be a fan now by just listening to it. I might say, "Wow, I really like their stuff now," And I might become a fan by listening to some of their older stuff.
That's why he
I'm
gives
just-
all porn a chance.
There you go.
It's true.
However, I thought, I'll check it out. I'll watch the video. I'll read an interview and whatever.
Jesus, you read a fucking
See?
interview
See,
too?
he does more than
Yeah.
we did. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's sort of like, like you said, they had released an album in so long. I thought, read up on them too.
It's like, so I bought a book.
He's like, I got the
I
t-shirt.
bought a book.
I did some
t-shirt.
I did some local interviews. I talked with some folks and asked them what they liked about ABBA. Anyway,
I joined their Facebook club.
It's like, yeah, somehow I'm the president now. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there. Geez, all I was going to say was I'm glad ABBA released an album after so long. Thank goodness. I bought it on iTunes and I listened to it and it's nice. It's nice. I love ABBA though. That's my happy music. That's my happy music.
Is it reminiscent of their old poppy style stuff?
Just their voices are, I mean, just the way they sing it's ABBA. I mean, you can tell it's all happy stuff. It's all happy stuff. They have a Christmas song.
They did have great harmony back in the day. I mean, that's how they played.
Same.
Yeah.
They sound the same. They're pretty, yeah.
Yeah, they still sound beautiful. They still sound beautiful voices. Absolutely.
They were top 40 for the longest time, and that's what was on the radio when I was growing up. So, I was forced to listen to it.
Forced.
Yeah.
Held down by gunpoint.
Well, if your parents were driving in the car, they controlled the radio. So that's what you had to listen to.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't say I was forced to listen to ABBA, but yes, you listen to whatever your parents listen to, and my parents did listen to ABBA, among other things, but I like ABBA. So there you go. There's my shout out to ABBA.
ABBA.
ABBA. It's the same forward and back.
Mm-hmm.
A palindrome.
Ooh, look at that, Ronz. Ronz had a big word.
Yeah, he thought it was metronome, but it's actually palindrome.
Yeah.
I did think it was metronome.
Ronz, I had a headache this morning. I have chronic headaches, as some of you might know, which means I get several headaches a week. And usually I just fend them off. I block. And I can fend them
your
off.
Jedi mind force.
Yeah, my Jedi mind force. It's just the force. Anyway. Yeah, so I get headaches pretty frequently. And I don't usually take medicine too much. Because if I take medicine too often, then you can get a rebound headache from taking medicine, or it just doesn't work anymore. So I try not to take any medicine unless it gets really bad. But here is my treatment for the headache. And if it's really bad, I have additional treatments that I do for my headache. 1 is rest. 2 is usually caffeine. If it's really bad, then I will take like an Excedrin migraine that also has caffeine in it, but it's got aspirin and Tylenol in it. If that doesn't work, then shortly thereafter, I will take some ibuprofen and maybe some Benadryl. The downside is if I have a headache, it's hard for me to go to sleep because I also wear a CPAP mask. And that has a band that goes around your head, and that bothers me and that hurts, so it makes the headache worse. So a lot of times I just try to rest. If it's really bad, Ronz, I had to resort to my last medical treatment. My last medical therapy that I would use with an extremely bad headache. Do you know what?
And what is that?
That was a donut, Ronz.
Oh.
A Krispy Kreme donut. Not a Krispy Kreme. Oh, heart. I can't believe I just insulted my favorite donut place. Not a Krispy Kreme donut. The greatest donut known to me. The Beaveman.
Please tell me.
You've been there.
Because I have been looking for the perfect donut.
Sweetwater's Donuts. If you're in the listening audience of this great Slaptail Squad podcast and you know of Sweetwater's, you can back me up. And you know how it is. And the rest of you throughout the world, I'm sorry if you cannot experience Sweetwater's. But I hope that someday you will. Because by God, Ronz, what a delicious donut. Perfectly crispy today. Just amazing. A little bit too much frosting for the Beaveman, but still a phenomenal.
I am truly surprised. I am truly surprised for the simple reason is I didn't think you were a donut person. I know exactly what you like, and I would have said yes, you like donuts, but I would have gone one step further, saying you love their apple fritters.
Oh, I do love apple fritters. I do. But
so I thought you would have gotten an apple fritter from that place.
Their apple fritters are excellent also, but no, I just had a donut. So get this right. I'm in Grand
Yeah.
Rapids the other day. For those of you who know where that is, if you're from Michigan, I'm in Grand Rapids the other day visiting the boy, and we got some food. And he lives right by a Krispy Kreme. Now, Krispy Kreme donuts, decent donuts. Used to be really good when I was in the Army. There was one right outside Fort Bragg. I used to stop and get there, and they would give you the free donuts as they came off the conveyor belt, and they were gigantic.
Oh, they are good.
They were gigantic, warm, toasty. But now their donuts are substantially smaller. And get this, Ronz, a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts. Guess how much I paid for it?
I'd say I'm gonna spitball here, like $13.
You're very close. $11. It was
Wow.
$11, which is insane for tiny donuts. Just one type, just the regular glazed donuts, smaller than they were many years ago. But if you go to Krispy Kreme and get that, it's not great. It's not great. It was.
Do they still give you the free donut?
I don't know. Probably. Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know, but they were totally not worth $11. Not gonna
No,
lie.
no, because
It
we
was
could have
like
got
3 bites.
we could have got almost 2 dozen, I think, from Sweetwater.
No, they're like, it was 6 something for a half dozen, so it was like $10.99, I think, for a dozen. So it was the same price, but way better quality donut, way bigger donut,
Huge
way yeah.
donuts, huge donuts. Ronz, there was so
Definitely.
much frosting on my donut today that
It was so
that I
good.
could not eat 2 of them.
I did.
I
And
had
So
to.
ate
what was
his
the donut
frosting.
that you got?
Well, I usually like to get this donut. There's 2 donuts that I like to get. Well, there's more than that I like to get. But if I say that, okay, I've got 2 donuts, we're gonna get 6 of them. I get 2. This is the 2 that I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick the New York cheesecake, which is really good. It's
Ooh.
got pink frosting on it and this cheesecake cream center, very delicious. And I'll get a Boston cream. Those are my 2 go-to if I can only get 2 donuts. If I can get more than 2 donuts, then I've got the other selections that I'll go with. Because I like
Your standbys.
I like a plain sourdough donut also. I really like those. Like the cake donuts. I like those. Nice and crispy.
Okay.
So, but they didn't have those today. They didn't have my New York cheesecake donut.
Oh, such a
It
shame.
was a shame. But the ones that they got me as a substitute, what was it called? Birthday cake? Birthday cream?
Birthday cake cheesecake.
Birthday cake cheesecake. Delicious donut, perfectly crispy, had so much frosting in the middle and on it that
Oh, so good.
that I had to give it that I was eating it with a knife and fork. There was so much just spilling out of it. It was delicious. It was delicious. But I couldn't.
So
but they got me 2 of them, and I couldn't eat the other one. I was like, no, I got to have something with less frosting on it. So I ended up getting that to the Swan because Swan. Did you know the Swan is 70% frosting?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So I will go to the Swan here. What's your favorite donuts?
I
All
don't
of
really
them?
care about the donut. I like frosting. The donut is just the vessel for my frosting. So
I
I
like that.
picked a just frosted cake donut, but then I got the frosting off of the Baby Swan and the Beaveman's donut. So I had like frosting times 4. It was delicious.
This donut was brimming. It was swollen. This donut was swollen. It looked like it. It looked like it.
was. They like cut it in half and stuck frosting in the middle, and then they filled the top of it with frosting too.
It was like
great.
it was
I
like
can believe that.
It was like Arnold Schwarzenegger of donuts when he was Mr. Universe. It was that buff.
Wow.
That was that engorged.
So
with
I
frosting.
don't think you should discuss a donut.
Sweetwater
Describe it as
donuts engorged.
engorged with frosting. No.
Engorged.
So let me
That's
ask you
your new-
this then.
I want to be the spokesman for Sweetwater. Sweetwater's, reach out to us, and this could be your new saying. I'll let you have it. Sweetwater's donuts engorged with frosting
So
Yeah.
or cream. It depends on the donut.
so going back to that, was there a floor show at Sweetwater's?
What the fuck are you talking about, Ronz?
So ironically, I was at Sweetwater's last week, right?
Mhm.
I was
And one of the
okay,
things
hold on now. So
How is that ironic?
how exactly
Because
is
we're
that
talking
ironic?
about because we're talking about Sweetwater's, and I had no idea you went to Sweetwater's.
Okay,
and we
but
were gonna
you
talk
just
about it.
said you went to Sweetwater's last week. If you'd have said I went to Sweetwater's today, that would be irony. But you said I went to Sweetwater's last week.
irony.
How's that irony exactly?
Okay, maybe it's not.
I mean, we're from the same town.
Okay,
there's-
maybe it's not.
There's one major donut place that most people love in our town. So if you're gonna go get donuts, I think most people go there over like Dunkin' Donuts or any other place.
Fair enough.
I'm just saying. I mean,
No, you are.
Anyway,
I mean,
so
you go
tell
to
us about
if
your
you're
Sweetwater's
if you're from
experience.
our town and you go someplace other than Sweetwater's, you're a fucking commie. Okay, well,
Yeah.
you're from China, communist China. That doesn't make you a bad person. Just means that you have not yet experienced
Experience the Sweetwaters.
the engorgement of a Sweetwater's donut. But please tell us your ironic story. I want to know where the irony comes in. Please go ahead.
No, you were. I won't tell the story. It was
No,
great.
we want to
I'm
hear
oh,
your
you want to hear it? Okay. So during the wintertime or the fall time, I like to go and have a donut and play board games with my family there, right? Just to get out of the house.
So you
I'll bring
take
a,
your own board game and
yeah, I do actually. I take some games with me. Right? Sweetwater's is really cool. They'll let you stay there.
Yeah, they
you
don't
know,
care.
As long, you know,
They don't
yeah,
care.
they don't care. They're great. So I brought I had a cribbage board and some cards, and we were sitting in there, and I bought actually 6 donuts. It was great, and I just some for home, and we're gonna eat some there, and I had some coffee and donuts. It was great. Right? The game, we don't care who wins or loses, just a game. And 3 customers came in, and all of a sudden they started screaming at the staff, causing problems.
Oh no! Did
And
you
they
put
went
your
out.
black belt on?
Ronz had to step in.
No, and let me get to that point.
Security.
Let me get to that point. And the staff was pretty damn professional. They didn't say word one.
So why were these people screaming at them?
Let him. Maybe
I
you should
don't.
let him. Maybe you should let him tell the
Okay,
story.
okay,
That'd be
okay.
great if you just let him tell the story.
I'm going to.
That's okay. They thought the staff said something to them, and they got pissed, right? And they didn't say anything.
We don't know. We believe that to be true.
We believe that to be true. So what happened is they started yelling. The staff was really calm, saying we didn't say anything, right? And
We believe that to be
very
true.
calm about it. I didn't say the word right.
Yes, you did.
Oh, okay, fair enough. We believe that to be true. And they turned around. They knocked over the customers, knocked over some napkins, right? Screaming, "Clean that up!"
We believe
bitch."
that to be true.
There you go. And they stormed out. And all of a sudden, the staff was very stoic, very, "Hey, you're ranting. We understand. We don't understand why you're upset, but we understand you're yelling."
So they said this after they walked out.
No, they were just being quiet in the service industry.
Okay, but then you just said they knocked over stuff and then they walked out and then the staff did.
Oh yeah, the customer said, yeah. They knocked over some napkins.
No,
and
but
said,
they
clean that up.
never
Bitch.
mind. It's fine.
So they knocked it over on purpose and said, "Clean that up, bitch," and walked out. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we got the story now. Okay, and then
the girl, everybody, they had the support of the staff, and this one girl just kind of had to go in the back room and cried a little. And she came out, and I said, you were very, very professional.
So you felt like the need that they needed to hear from you. You had to go up and you knew in your heart that they needed to hear from you.
Well, it's encouraging that when you hear something like that and you see people act so fucking moronic that you think what you hear, which is not what you hear, but you get upset and you get pissed off at something over something so trivial. If it happened, you're an idiot. You just can't let it go.
Ronz, Ronz, I think that you are. This might be a new phrase. This might be a new psychological term that I've come up with. You are inadvertently, unconsciously arrogant.
Yes, I am. I will tell you that right now. I am arrogant.
You feel that when something like that happens, that the staff needs to hear from you. You're like
of course they do.
You know what? These people need to hear that I support them. But why?
They do.
But I guess that's that inadvertent arrogance.
It's
unconscious, inadvertent arrogancy.
You're absolutely correct.
It's UIA. You have UIA.
I do.
Sounds bad.
With some cranberry juice, we can cure it.
Yeah. What happened? So what happened after you told this young person that you were damn proud of them?
I said, we'll talk about this on the podcast that we do. about how people treat other people.
You know what would have made her happy?
What?
A donut.
Probably.
A donut.
I feel
I mean,
like
how can
they
you be
might
how can you be
sick
sad?
of donuts.
How can you be sad if you're surrounded by donuts?
I don't know.
The
Yeah.
love of the donut compels us to be nice.
Yeah, I mean, you
But there
don't
are
have to.
evil people out
You don't have to eat the donuts all the time to feel love from a donut. Just the simple joy of baking them, seeing them, you're like, oh, look at that! If I was a tiny person, I could lay right on this fluffy donut. Maybe turn my head to the side, give it a little lick, turn my head back, maybe a little nibble.
So, when you're eating the frosting, do you eat it from the hole out, or do you eat it towards the hole?
Yeah, do you eat your donut ass first, or do you? That's basically what he's trying to come up with some sort of a joke. He's like,
yeah.
Well, no, because there are some people that just go diving straight in for the frosting, and there are other people that just kind of nibble at it and just enjoy the donut's love for what it is. So, as the Swan said, it was so much engorged.
No, I said
donut. Yeah, you said that, but I was referring to the Swan that there was so much frosting in the center that she loved it.
Not in the hole. It was cut in half lengthwise, like a bagel, and filled with frosting.
How do you know it was cut in half?
Because mine was.
Oh, if you say so. I don't know about that, but
the one.
Well, you were there. What do you mean?
I don't know what she's talking about because mine wasn't cut in half. So I don't know what she's talking about.
Mine was the yellow frosting was cut in half, and it had frosting in the middle.
If you say so.
And then frosting on the top.
If you say so.
Well,
I'll take your word for it. I don't know. I didn't eat the same donut as her. I ate a different donut, but mine did not look like it was cut in half.
When you go to Sweetwater, do you guys share each other's donut?
No.
Get her fucking own donut. Why would we do that? No. Like that, we're not one of those couples. We're not, because inevitably somebody, me, would get more donuts.
Yeah, let me explain something to you, Ronz. There's some things that you don't do with Swan. You don't share your fucking food with her because she eats more than her fair share. So you just get your own. If you don't want to eat your food, then you share it with her because she's a fucking pig.
Yep. Competitive eating champion right here.
Why does that bother you? I mean, you guys have been together for so long.
Why does it bother me? Because I want to eat my own food, Ron. That's why we don't share. That's why I don't share with her. Because otherwise,
we can share certain things, but we divide it equally in half from the beginning. If we're gonna share it like that, we're not gonna.
So you don't give her a little nibble, like saying, "Hey, you need to try this out."
No.
No, because her fucking big fat mouth would take a giant piece of it. No, I'm not gonna do that. No.
Hell yeah, I would.
So you wouldn't cut it off and just give her that piece?
Oh my God, no. You know, my theory on that also is this. If she wanted this, then she would have ordered it. Don't eat my shit. I ordered what I want. Don't eat my stuff. Keep your fucking hands.
Always
keep your fucking hands off my plate.
You're gonna let Carrie, if Carrie was like, you're eating like whatever, a piece of pie. What?
You will refer to her as her
God-given
donut. It's her God-given name.
Little powder donut is eating, and she's got like 4 bites left, and you're like, "Hey, honey, can I have a bite?" And she's like, "Sure, Ronz, you can have a bite. Why don't you just take the last bite of something that I've been savoring? Fuck that. Get your own." Like, I don't think she would ever
do that to me. No, she would never do that to me. I would never do that to her.
Well, then why are you expecting us to do it?
Well, I thought it would have been a cute romantic couple thing. Apparently, that's not you guys.
No,
there's nothing cute. There's nothing cute when it comes to food.
There's nothing cute.
There's nothing cute when it comes to the food with a Swan. For one thing, she sounds like a fucking pig when she eats.
No. Yeah. Let me stop you right there.
No, let me stop you.
I've had dinner with you guys, and she does not. And she puts out a fabulous spread. She does.
You couldn't hear how she sounds because there were people talking. I can't stand the way she eats.
Everybody makes chewing sounds, and it's not.
Nobody in our family can stand hearing her eat. As a matter of fact, we've talked about playing music while we have dinner because we can't stand the way she sounds.
Cool.
Swan, when I had dinner over at your house with my lovely little powder donut.
Because people were talking.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
You know what? I've got your back, and you're the one putting yourself back into the corner.
I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I'm confident with my eating skills.
You know what? If you want to, if you don't want my protection, or you don't want me to jump on your side. Yeah, you don't need my protection, but you don't want me on your side. Fuck it. I'm done.
Give me my
Let
dildo, Ronz. Give me my dildo and tell me to go fuck myself.
So I take it you're a loud chewer.
Yeah, it doesn't
it's
matter
not
what she
even-
eats. She could eat
Yeah.
soft food and make noise, which is disgusting. Like, you're not. I can understand some food makes noise. I'm like, crunchy food, whatever, makes noise. There's nothing you can do about that. But all food she eats, she makes noise eating. So it's gross. Yeah, I don't like it. And so when the
Okay, well,
I guess I never noticed it.
From all of your extensive meals with Swan, you never noticed it?
Not once.
yeah, he's eaten with me at least twice. Donuts and meatloaf.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
Mhm.
Little Powder Donut raved about your meatloaf. It was excellent.
And what does Little Power Donut think about her nickname? Is she on board?
It doesn't matter. By the time she hears this, it'll already be posted, so it's
So
too
what
late.
you're saying is you don't call her Little Powder Donut at home?
No. Actually, hold on. I called her once or twice here and there.
And then she slapped you
No.
like in the
No.
balls because
No,
that's about.
No, but she laughs at it. She really does. She laughed at it.
Punched him right
So
in the
I'm
dick.
like, right in the
Punch
dick.
him in the dick. Yeah.
So like I said, I'm on this quest to find the perfect donut. I'm like,
When did you
and
say that?
somehow her name.
When did you say
What's
you
that?
were on the quest to find the perfect donut? When did
It
you...
was implied. You cut me off on that.
You said,
Oh,
you
boy.
like, no,
Oh, boy.
what you said was, as I said, I've been. When did you say that? On a quest to find the
to
perfect
her.
donut? Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that makes sense. Good one. Good save.
Way to
Excellent
cover
save.
it up. Way to cover it up. Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, as I was telling folks most recently, within the past week or so, Ronz, that there's significant importance of having you as a friend.
I'm truly humbled. Thank you.
You don't even want to know why?
No, just to be
I want to know
considered the
why.
Beaveman's
What
friend.
are the benefits of having Ronz as a friend?
Well, for one
there a
thing,
list?
Ronz is what's the word?
Awkward.
Well,
Awkward.
well, he's awkward.
Comedic relief.
He's awkward to the point that he reaches out to people. He probably has tons of friends on his
Friendly.
Facebook. He's had tons of people that he knows, etc. We know some of the same people, but he has relationships with them that I don't have because most of the time people are not on my Facebook. It's very rare that I let somebody be a friend on my Facebook. Really, you know, I remove lots of people. But of course, on the Slaptail Squad, you can be a friend on there. Anyway, no, I
would say I have tons of friends.
messaged somebody over almost a year ago about
Yeah.
purchasing a training sword from them because they don't train with us anymore. And so I've messaged them more than once. I'm like, oh, you know, they never messaged me back, but we're not friends on Facebook. So I don't know how often this, you know, I don't know if you actually see messages that you get if you're not friends or how it flags it or whatever. So it finally dawns on me the other day, you know what? The Ronz knows everybody.
This
Not
mutual
everybody,
person.
but
He probably,
yeah, the mutual person.
I bet that I bet they're friends on Facebook. So I say to the Ronz, are you friends with this person on Facebook? And Ronz is like, yes, I am. I'm like, hey, can you do me a favor and message this person and see if they want to sell their training sword? Now, a little story. Here's as we delve into the nerdiness of the Beaveman, and that's okay because I enjoy being a nerd. The Beaveman practices a European martial art known as l'art d'ammazzare, which is a fancy word for training with the medieval sword, poleaxe, wrestling, dagger, spear, etc., etc. And you have these training swords, really nice training swords made out of steel, and they can get pretty pricey. I actually paid, I think, $750 for Swan's sword.
Wow.
Yes.
Because it has a custom hand grip on it. But anyway, and it's a super nice sword, and these swords, they really don't depreciate in value if you take good care of them. So you could have bought one 10 years ago and you could still sell it. You know, I think they're like $500 new now without a custom grip or something like that. And you got to pay shipping. So shipping gets pricey because it's long. So you might even pay up to like another extra $50 to ship something, or even $70 to ship something. It's crazy. It's insane. And some of them come from other countries. Whatever. The point is, they don't really depreciate in value. So I said to the Ronz, hey, ask this person if they want to sell their training sword because it would still be worth a lot of money. Ronz doesn't know that. He's like, sure, no problem. Boom, right away, get a message back from the Ronz. He's like, yeah, she'll sell her sword. And I'm like, I've waited over a year when I should have just said, you know what? I should utilize my resource, the Ronz. And this is the benefit of knowing him. One of the benefits. One of the benefits. But it gets better than that because then Do you know why this was super important to me, Ronz? Do you know why? Can you speculate why?
I had no idea. I could speculate. I know that you train, and I figured pretty much it was just a training start. I didn't go beyond that. I know that you love the style that you're in, and you are somewhat of a sword collector. So I didn't think it beyond that.
Fair enough. Swan, do you know why it was also additionally important for me to get this sword?
I know why, because you already told me. Do you want me to share it?
Sure, go ahead.
I mean,
share it.
So that you could get the training sword before your teacher got the training sword.
You are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. That is my immaturity. Also, I was like, oh, victory, the small victory, one for the Beaveman.
I knew that you mentioned that you had some competition on that, but I didn't go into that.
You got it first. How do you feel? Do you like to be used, Ronz? I mean,
well,
you got used.
As a stripper for the blind, I don't mind. Actually, I had nothing to do with this. This was all the Beaveman. I just happened to be in contact with the person.
He was a conduit.
As a conduit. Yes. I mean, it could have failed either way.
No, but the point is, there was, it's important to get this, the training sword. But not only was I able to achieve this of getting the training sword, an excellent training sword, by the way, it has a name. But here's the actual story, Ronz. So the person that I got the sword from, I'm sure she doesn't listen to the podcast. She's not going to mind anyway. The person that listens to the person that I got the sword from, she used to do this training with us. She was actually one of the not original, but one of the first people that used to do this training with us. And her husband did it also. So they both would come. Super nice couple. Well, they had an amicable divorce. And so this is what's sad. As soon as they got divorced, I said to the Swan, I'm like, hey, would it be inappropriate of me to ask her if she wants to sell that sword? Because she hasn't come to training for quite a while.
I said no. She probably would want the money for it anyway, because she's not going to use it again. And if you're asking for it, clearly you're going to use it in the style that you do and give it to a good home because you know you're using it, versus her getting taken advantage of on selling it on the internet and someone giving her like $50 for it or something.
Yeah. Well, the other thing was, so I'm like, well, I was having this conversation with my friend who was also who I do the training with. And I said to him, I'm like, hey, do you think it would be inappropriate for me to ask her if she wants to sell her sword? Or if I can't get a hold of her, do you think it's inappropriate of me to ask her ex-husband to ask her if she wants to sell the sword? Or if that's inappropriate, do you think I should ask one of the kids when they're at karate to ask their mom if she wants to sell the sword? And I said this.
So what did he say to that?
And I said this to him because I was joking, of course, but I also wanted his opinion to see what he would say. And he's like, I don't think that's inappropriate because I was going to do the same thing.
And you're like, now it's on, bitch, because I'm going to beat you to it. I'm going to use my resource, the Ronz.
Yeah. And so, but this was a year ago. I mean, this was literally like a year ago. So we've both been, of course, we haven't seen the kids that often, and because of COVID and everything. And the times that I did see him, I only saw the ex-husband, and I was like, well, I don't know if I want to ask him or not. And I think I did actually ask him once, like just kind of in passing, but I didn't want to ask him to ask her because I'm like, it might be weird.
Of course.
So no, so I used the Ronz, and not only was I successful, Ronz, in obtaining this training sword, but
I did get your message. Yes,
I was able to tell my friend who I train with that I got it before him. Boom!
Boom.
And not only that, I prefaced it by saying this. You know why it's important to know the Ronz?
Thank you.
You know why it's important?
He was like, why?
You know why it's important to have the Ronz in your corner?
In your back pocket. You got the Ronz in your back pocket.
Next to that G-string.
Not touching your waist, though.
Yeah,
not touching your waist, though.
Not touching your waist.
Ron is my G-string. That's why he's up my ass.
There we go.
Yes, he is. You like to be there, don't you, Ronz?
So nice job, Ronz.
Let's just call Ronz G from now on. What up, G?
That was all you. You know, because when I got your message, it's like you said, say this much. I'm like, you know what? The one thing I found uncomfortable, and it was just the one thing, is negotiating a price for you because I didn't want to take anything out of context. I didn't want to, have it sound like this is what he said. This is what he's going to pay for it. I wanted you to have some wiggle room in case you wanted to negotiate a price.
Yes. Well, good job, Ronz. Good job. I took care of it. It's all good now.
No,
and
fantastic.
we need not go into how much I paid for it. It's not necessary.
I do not want to know.
Do not want
So,
to
did
know.
you buy any other equipment from this person?
That's all she had, as far as
I
know.
don't. Yeah, they don't.
They didn't have the gloves or anything.
I don't need that stuff. I'm telling you, Ronz, this is because of the pandemic.
Her hands are probably bigger than the Beaveman.
Because of the pandemic.
She's got long fingers.
First of all, if you order a training sword, this might be interesting to some people. If you order a training sword, you might not get it for like a fucking year. If they don't have it in stock, they make them. So people order them. And because of the pandemic, I've seen on some HEMA messaging boards that it's taken the waiting list on some of them is like 2 years to get one.
Yeah.
Wow.
How long did it take to get mine?
It took yours was projected to take, they thought it was going to be 7 months based on the orders that they had, but I think it took 10. I think it was like almost 10 months.
Yeah.
Are these hand forged training weapons?
Yeah, they're forged. Yeah.
Well, no, hand forged.
Yeah.
I mean, not machine forged.
Yeah, they're not machine forged.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and so they don't really depreciate in value. So if you happen to be one of those people who's on like the HEMA boards, like on the Facebook pages, like I am, some people don't understand. They'll go on there where people are selling their swords and they're selling it. And they're like, oh, I'm offering the sword for X amount of dollars. And then some knucklehead who doesn't understand how things are is like, well, I could get it for brand new for, $50 more. And everybody else is like, yeah, go ahead, try it, fucker. You're not going to get that sword for 2 years. And that's what.
Tell them they have a better chance getting a dildo and go fuck themselves.
Right. Well, that's kind of basically what people say. They'll go on there and be like, yeah, clearly you don't know what the fuck's going on, dude, and they don't really depreciate. A good training sword is not going to depreciate.
Well, I have no idea how the sword is.
They're made
so
very well.
I'll take your word.
Yeah, they're made very well. I mean, you can bash them against it. That's kind of, they're just made. They're tempered very well. So yeah, so it was a great deal. Thank you. And now, and to commemorate this special occasion, I have named my sword after the person who sold it to me. So now
I named your sword.
Yes, the Swan named my sword. So you got,
which is it? You did or she did?
I did. I said, "Are you going to name it this person's name after her?"
Yeah. So my sword is
like, "Oh, that's a good idea."
Yeah.
So it has her name now.
So now it has a goofy moniker. That's usually you want to name it.
I like
cool, but that's the sword's name now. So
I know the person you speak of, and there is an interesting story I'll tell at another time. I will, but yeah, and it's a funny story. It involved your instructor and her and me.
It involves urine.
Yeah. Exact. No, it involved your instructor. Mine.
It involves urinary stricture. What? It involves urinary stricture and Ron. What?
Sure, why not?
Definitely.
So what other equipment are you looking for at this particular time?
I'm not. I wasn't really looking for. That's just a. It's just a goal.
That was just a side bonus.
It's a side bonus. No.
So, on a side note, I wanted to see how easy you were. I wanted to see how right you were, and I started about talking to random people, and I wanted to see how easy it was that I could slide into and slide out of just talking to people randomly.
You do that already. Why would you need to
no, because the Beaveman actually pointed it out once, and I wanted to see how true it was. And I did it last weekend. Okay. I wound up talking to people, and I won't say what happened, but it was a really cool idea because I did this.
So you want to tell a very minimal amount of the story?
Yeah, because I can't reveal everything just yet.
Well, you do know this is a podcast.
Why would you even bring it up?
Yeah, you do know this is a podcast that we're doing for entertainment for people. So when you bring up stuff that you're not going to bring up, it doesn't lend much interest in the podcast because people are like, okay, so he's going to lead into a story, but he's not going to tell it.
I think he just wanted to piss you off.
No, okay.
So good job, Ronz. Good jobs.
No, I don't want to reveal too much at this time because it pisses you off because when other people do this, because the Swan does it to you, right? And
yeah, we believe that to be true.
We believe that to be true.
And right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Now we're not going to do it. So I just want to make sure that I didn't do a spoiler alert, because the way I did things, there's a spoiler alert coming, and I will tell the story in the future of how it happened.
Pretty sure he's gonna forget.
Yeah,
the
he's
story,
gonna forget.
folks,
So
'cause Ron's
No,
got
because
dementia.
because when it happens, I'm going to get yelled at by either the Beaveman, or he's going to be over the moon with it.
uh-huh.
So
Great story. Yeah,
and
maybe you should just.
speaking of which,
You have a notepad on your phone. Maybe you should just write down that this is what you said you were going to do on this podcast. In the future, you're going to do, etc. Because otherwise, you're
No.
just not going to remember.
believe me, I'll remember this. And speaking of which, because of COVID and what's going on in the world, how does this affect your Christmas shopping?
It doesn't. We do all our
Hmm.
shopping online. It's better that way.
Okay. That ends that part of the
Yeah,
conversation.
that was it. I mean, you asked the question. That was
You
it.
asked.
Yeah, I did.
You asked the question. That was the answer to your question.
Because I'll bring you into what I'm up to. Is I've been actually looking for Christmas gifts for you two.
Yeah, you've said that
And-
probably since September.
Well, yeah, you're hard to buy, because every time I go for something, I'm like, would the Beaveman really like this?
Probably not. I don't have my own family buy me gifts.
Well, that's you're part of my family, so we're gonna negate
You're getting
that.
a gift whether you want it or not.
Mhm. And I was thinking what the Swan would like, and I can tell you this much: I did pass on one thing, just because it was a dated item. It was a Garbage Pail cereal, Garbage Pail Kids cereal.
It's amazing how he always wants to buy cereal. He always wants to buy something that can't be consumed. Here's what.
This
is
can be
Here's the
consumed.
cereal that expired in the 80s.
Yeah, except she
but
wouldn't
you
eat
No,
it.
no, actually, what they did was they released it again, and I went to see if they had any available, and they said it's going to expire tomorrow. We can't sell it after that day. And I was so exhausted, and I didn't have the funds with me, and I'm like, maybe they'll get new stock in. So I went back to check on that. They're like, no, we're not getting any more in.
It's gone forever.
It is. And because it was a food product, it had a date on it of expiration. So I could, and legally they couldn't sell it to me after the date.
So,
but it was a Garbage Pail Kids cereal.
So every
'Cause you had
year,
the kids.
so when people ask me what I want for Christmas, I will tell. This is what I tell them. I'm like, I buy whatever I want. So if you're going to buy me this, because when my son asks me every year, he's like, "What do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas?" I told him this year. I said, just like I said last year, I'm like, you don't have to buy me anything for Christmas. I buy whatever I want whenever I want it. But if you're gonna buy me something, I usually want something that's consumable. So if he's gonna buy me, I said, buy me soap. That's what you can buy me. That's what I did.
I had to think about that. You don't eat soap, but you said consumable, which means you use it.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to think about that.
You can't go wrong with buying me a big ass brick of Duke Cannon
believe me.
soap. Shout out.
There are so many options.
Shout out to Duke Cannon.
Duke Cannon.
I love your soap.
If
There
you want
is
to send us some, that would be great.
That would be great.
There is so much out there in the world that, because I got to know you a lot better over the year now.
You are
I
his
know
G-string. You should know him.
Yep.
You're up his
Yeah,
butt.
there we go. That I know the perfect gifts to get you. However, pinpointing that is difficult because it changes from week to week. Now it's within this certain realm, but it changes from week to week to what you like. So I'm looking for that perfect feel for you.
I like pretty much the same stuff, but you can never go wrong with buying me a big ass brick of soap from Duke Cannon. Shout out to Duke Cannon. I love your soap.
And it goes for the Swan because Swan likes to reminisce of her past, of how she had the Garbage Pail Kids
I feel
cards.
like I said
all
that
of them.
like once.
No, you said it.
You said it more. Yeah, you
couple
said it more than
times.
once.
Yeah.
So I'm on this quest to find anything Garbage Pail Kids related. Now I did find a few items, and one of them, believe it or not, was a board game.
And one of them was cereal. But it was going to
cereal.
expire soon, but they couldn't sell it
No,
to
I
me
found
because it expired.
yeah. However, I did manage to find a few other things. And I thought, really, I think the board game would have been great. It's a Monopoly board game, but you guys don't play board games together.
We play games. I just hate Monopoly. That's my least favorite.
See, now that would have been the ironic gift to get you.
That might have been ironic. That might have you could say that would be ironic, I guess.
And I did see the Mandalorian Monopoly set, and I thought that would be so cool. However, the one thing that upset me
was how much it cost. You're like, was how much it cost?
No, it was because it came with paper or cardboard cutouts.
Yeah,
not the figurines.
Real pieces. Oh yeah, I hate
that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, that sucks. Because if I'm going to
go
go big, you go big or you don't go big at all.
Exactly. Good point. Anyway, yeah. Nice job. Nice work. Yeah, I'm still actually the Swan and I have been talking about what are we going to get Ronz and Tremonde for Christmas. We have been talking about that.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah. So we're still going to think we're going to figure that out. But you know what, Ronz?
What's that?
You can never go wrong with getting me a big ass brick of Duke Cannon soap.
A big ass brick of soap.
And yeah,
literally, I know. It is the size of a brick.
I know. Ridiculous. He got me some for my.
Oh yeah, you got the Navy one or the Air Force one or whatever the hell you were in.
You got me a couple.
I gave him a couple.
I think or something.
I gave him with like the beer and bourbon one or something.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember. I can't remember.
Campfire.
Yeah, and one of the
campfire smells good too. Yeah.
I like them. They're good. Thank you, dude.
Tried to.
Jesus Christ!
What? Was I yelling?
No,
sorry,
you weren't yelling.
She's yelling.
I wasn't meaning.
By the way, are you in your pajamas?
I am. I'm in my onesie. I got a hood. You want to see it?
Yeah.
It's the same one she wears all the fucking time.
Yeah. No, I have several. But anyway, so I ran out of my.
Look at you. You look like a regular podcaster on a gamer channel.
Sweet.
Yeah, and a gaper channel.
Shut up. I ran out of my own soap and I tried to use your soap. It's kind of hard to handle. I'm not going to lie. I almost dropped it like 4 times.
So you're not used to handling something big and thick.
Yeah, that's true. No.
Oh.
No, but she's got
That's my ass.
No, but she's got a new nickname for me. You want to hear it?
Sure.
Heavy cream.
Heavy cream. Why heavy cream?
Because
why not?
Well, why not? What's wrong with that?
Why not?
Okay.
I'm gonna call him heavy cream.
No, try it, Ron. This is what you do. You open your refrigerator or your pantry and look at things and decide what one of those things might make a fun nickname for your significant other. So
what was I?
She asked me what we should have for dinner, and she said, well, this is what we have. We have ground pork and ground chicken. I said, why don't we just have pork patties? She's like, okay. And I said, that's your new nickname, Pork Patty.
And I had in my hand heavy whipping cream. So I said, I'm going to call you Heavy Cream. Since he called me Pork Patty.
That sounds like an adult film waiting to happen. Pork Patty and Heavy Cream together. You know, just cue the music right there. And we'll go from there.
So that's it. That's your assignment there, Ronz. See what funny things you can come up
Straight
with.
Up bullshit that you think I'm going to say.
Or your pantry, and just spout off these things and call your son and your wife whatever you happen to have in the pantry. I might just call Baby Swan a keto nut cluster. Yeah. What's up, keto nut cluster?
And she wouldn't think anything of it. She'd be like,
I would. What would you call the son then?
I don't know. I'd have to pull out. I'd have to find something interesting.
Pull something out of the pantry.
Something out of the pantry.
Green bean.
No,
I don't know.
We don't have green beans in the pantry.
Can of mushroom soup.
Yeah, that's fun to do, man. Try it. Just do it. Just try it.
What up, peanut butter?
No, I like that. That flows. I like that. What up, peanut butter? Yeah, that kind of flows versus.
Yeah, you got to do your own runs. You can't
just steal it, Ronz. You just can't just steal it. What the fuck's wrong with you? Yeah, try something.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So be it.
Yeah, give it a try. Give that a try, Slaptail Nation. Just pull something out of your pantry or refrigerator and start calling your family member that, and see what kind of looks they give you. I would also challenge you to say some weird words over and over again, and think about this: we're and we're, we're and we're, we're.
Like
we're? Yeah, like we're or we're.
Like we are.
Like we are. Like we are or we're. Or where or we're.
Yeah.
Or where. We're.
Are you doing the Stewie Griffin?
Where?
Family Guy, ruin and ruined. ruined and ruined. Emphasis on certain syllables.
Now give it a try.
Fine.
And then once you've driven yourself crazy with that one, try this one. Then and van. Then.
I can't handle it anymore.
Then and van.
Then,
No, then and van.
then,
No, then and
then and
van.
then,
No, then and
then and
van.
then, then and then,
Then and van.
then and then,
Yes.
then and then.
Right.
That's like one of those actor exercises and enunciating words.
No, when do you use it? When do you use then and then? When do you use then? And
I use
then?
them in a sentence.
When do you use then and not then, or then and not then?
That depends.
I mean, what am I asking you? You'll never get.
Why
it right.
are you asking
Yeah,
me?
you'll never get it right.
Grammatically incorrect, Ronz. When do
Of
you
course,
use those?
yeah. You're absolutely right.
I would rather go to the store than go to somewhere else. That's a than use.
I'd rather go to the
But
store.
I'm going to go to the store, then go to the mall.
Then shop online
Then.
rather than
then
shop online.
So
yeah.
then or
But-
then shop online or then shop online.
Well,
Of
it
course.
depends if you're doing it next. If you're doing it next, like I'm going to go to the grocery store, then to get my nails done.
So this goes back to the word right, because subconsciously I don't know I say it. So if I'm saying then or than, yeah,
Well,
when do I
feel
use
like it should come out correctly if you use English right.
Of course.
But
But who does?
Sure.
Sure.
like I would rather go to the dentist than have to go to the proctologist.
Well, you wouldn't have to go
Like,
to a
instead
proctologist.
of. Well, I'm just saying. Instead
Why would you
of.
go to a proctologist?
I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
I'm
to get my
interested.
butt checked.
I thought the Beaveman checked out your butt.
I think I have prostate cancer. You don't have a prostate.
Could you check? I don't know.
All right, well, that's it for me.
You were expecting me to say something stupid. I just kind of let it die
Hey,
there.
that's
I'm
it
like,
for me.
huh.
Hey, way to go on your tight 2 minutes, Ronz.
Good job, Ronz.
tight
Good
2
job.
minutes.
It wasn't funny. You had one funny joke.
But at least you gave it a try.
But at least you tried, and the power of suggestion on the feeble-minded clearly works.
Oh, there we go.
That was the whole point of that exercise. Was
Knowing
to see
that
if you could get Ronz into a situation.
Knowing that on my one day off, I have all this stuff to do, and I get limited amounts of sleep, and you're going to push me to a limit, right?
I mean, at least you tried. Good try,
Yeah, I
Ronz.
did.
Good try.
No, I'll try harder next time.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Why would she say that?
Mm.
No,
Yeah.
Ronz, no.
Yeah.
No.
Anyways, bye from the Swan.
Wait.
Wait.
Yeah, it's like the way you guys said it was at the same
something
time.
else.
No, I thought that was. I thought the Beaveman was going to say. Anyways, that's what he says. Anyway, I digress. We move on.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Bye from the Swan. Say bye, Ronz.
Bye, Ronz. Hey.
And that's it for me from the Beaveman. Adios, smooch fuckos.